Have you ever wondered why prisoners are always so jacked? Like, do all genetically gifted people just happen to be criminals? Or is there some other reason? There must be something that these prisoners have that we don't, something that is driving them to work hard. Or what if it's just because their limited environment basically forces them to exercise? Think about it. They're in a jail cell with basically nothing except some furniture and themselves. With no TV, no cell phone, and no Fortnite, what else is there to do but exercise? And then there's you, laying comfortably in your bed with no real reason to get up. The last thing you'd want to do in your position is exercise. This applies to virtually anything that requires you to sacrifice some comfort and work hard on something. You see, our brains are wired to avoid anything that pushes us outside of our comfort zone, and will do whatever it can to seek the most comfortable thing available. So when you're given a choice of different options, you will always subconsciously choose the most stimulating one. I can prove that to you with these two videos. As you can see, you chose to watch the hydraulic press video rather than the video of the chair. This is because the hydraulic press video is simply more captivating than the chair video. Because we are wired to constantly seek stimulation wherever possible, you will always gravitate towards the most stimulating option. So when you have the option of either doing something productive or checking the latest feed on your social media, obviously you're going to find a way to check your social media, even if the rational part of you knows that being productive is the better option. And this is why you struggle so much to stay focused on your tasks. It's not because you're cursed or because you lack the capacity to do work. Rather, it's simply due to the fact that you have so many other options available that your work just feels like torture. So, how do you fix this? Well, my friends, this is the time to become friends with your worst enemy, boredom. That's right, you can actually use boredom to your advantage to make doing work feel more fun. To those of you who see boredom as a negative force to be avoided at all costs, I'm going to teach you how to leverage it to basically force your brain to become productive. Imagine that you are trapped in a room and you are given the option to either watch your favorite Netflix show or listen to Cardi B. Obviously, if you had to choose between one or the other, you would choose Netflix. But what if I now took away the option of watching Netflix and said that you only have the choice of either doing nothing or listening to Cardi B? Well then, you'd probably still just do nothing. But what if I now said that you only have the choice of either doing nothing or doing some math problems? Well then, you might resist the math problems for a while, but eventually you'll get so bored of doing nothing that you have no choice but to do some math. And this is how we can use boredom to our advantage, to do basically anything that gets you further in life. You can think of this Netflix show as anything in your life that lies above your dopamine baseline, and you can think of the math problems as everything below your dopamine baseline. What you need to do is remove all of these activities up here, and I mean all of them. When you have like 10 different things that are magnitudes higher than your dopamine baseline, then obviously your baseline will be very high. And the higher your baseline, the harder it is to do things that are hard. So if you just remove all of the overstimulating activities, naturally your dopamine baseline will start to go down, and it's going to keep going down until eventually it reaches the level that is typically associated with purposeful activity, aka getting shit done. And now suddenly, all of the productive activities that you once dreaded are just as fun as watching your favorite Netflix show. Remember kids, fun is relative. Now I know what you're thinking. Just because the stimulating options are gone and your dopamine baseline is lower, doesn't mean you'll automatically be able to do work on command. I mean, after all, doing work is mentally demanding, and some may argue that it's even less bearable than doing nothing for 24 hours. But here's the thing, humans have an innate drive to be productive and get stuff done, even if it means sacrificing a bit of comfort. When you're faced with a lack of things to do, you will naturally turn to doing work as a way to occupy your time, just like a prisoner would turn to exercise. So please, don't underestimate the power of your brain's ability to be productive. It's actually way better than you think. You just haven't realized that yet because you've been so distracted with other things that you haven't given your brain time to harness its true powers. I promise you that if you just remove all of the distractions that shoot your dopamine baseline up, you'll be able to start doing work on command. And not just that, you can start finding joy in the smaller things again, just like when you were a kid. Think about it, when you were young, you didn't have social media, and you weren't addicted to video games, so you were able to enjoy pretty much anything. The same thing will happen if you just go back to the same old life without all of these distractions. So next time you find yourself feeling bored, embrace it. Use it as a signal that it's time to lock in and grind. And if you're never bored, then that's a sign that you have too much stimulation going on in your life. Humans need boredom to get things done, and without it, you're basically sabotaging your own brain. So be bored and keep grinding. I'll catch you in the next one.